Right, now this will tell us. And that's pretty conclusive. Still going. Close. I think he got it down.
How strong is he?
Oh, welcome back to another edition of the Pick and Go podcast, your one-stop shop for all things rugby union. And we've got a whole heap to talk about this week. And sitting in the chair next to me is our good friend, Pity Weepu. Pity, welcome back after not turning up last week.
Hey, what?
Yeah.
That wasn't my fault. You changed the time, and I couldn't make it.
Oh, well.
Anyway, I got a bone to pick with you, but we can wait for that.
Oh, we'll wait for that.
Coming up, yeah.
Okay. Also joining us, our very good friend from up north, Ben Searle of Surly Talk Sports. Surly, welcome back in, mate.
Yeah, cheers for having me, lads. This one sounds like it's going to be spicy. It's all go off here, so keen to see it carry over.
And welcome back to our good friend, Jeff Wilson, or Mr. Late Man, as we would call him this morning.
Do I really need to explain the circumstances of me being late? If you send an invitation on Teams for a meeting, that's generally where I log in. Seriously, Paulie. How long have you been doing this thing, right? It's done it to you, Pity, Surly, I'm sure. Mate, let's just move on quickly. Give me time to calm down. There's a lot going on here in Auckland at the moment. Come on, let's go.
He's got fire in the belly. It's lovely to see Goldie. What do we do? I guess we should talk about Dave Rennie first of all. Hey, should we talk about Dave Rennie? Because he is the new coach. He's got the number one job in New Zealand. He's got the job with the most pressure in New Zealand. But first of all, Goldie, your thoughts on the appointment and those that missed out?
Yeah, well, those that missed out is clearly Jamie Joseph, and he'll be bitterly disappointed second time round trying to get the job. But I think when the brief clearly was just for an 18-month hit, I think that certainly changed what they were looking for. There's no doubt that going into the environments played a big part in this, going down to Dunedin, heading to Japan. They saw exactly maybe what they were looking for out of Dave Rennie and the time they spent with him. He clearly would have interviewed well. This was a close race, but I think New Zealand Rugby's in his position right now where they were looking, this was only going to the back end of the Rugby World Cup. Who'd have the biggest impact right now? And I think Dave Rennie fits that bill. By the sounds of things, got a really clear picture of who he wants in his coaching team as well. So I think there's going to be some significant change there. And he'll be looking to get to work pretty quickly with that group of people in terms of organising. So look, I'm not surprised when you start hearing the language they were talking and the fact it's a short term. So I think Dave Rennie in this case might be the best man for this job.
Pity, Dave Rennie is a big Wellington man. I don't think his coaching pathway crossed over into your playing career. He was just a wee bit after. Was he a bit after?
Before you. So he was obviously with the Lions when they won NPC, and then kind of got the old boot a couple of years later as I was coming in to my rugby career. But yeah, so I didn't get the chance to rub shoulders with him, although a lot of us after Coops was finishing up, we all asked if Dave would come back and help us out at the Hurricanes, but I think it was just bad blood at the time, so he just didn't want to be down here coaching, which is understandable. Mm-hmm. So I never really got the opportunity, but have sort of seen what he has done with the teams that he's been involved with. I think if he had stayed at the Wallabies before the World Cup, I have a feeling they would have done a lot better than what they did. But yeah, great appointment, I think. Just look gutted for Jamie in that process. But I guess like they said, with like Goldie said too, is it's only a short time, and they think that he's probably the best man fit for that job.
Surely, as Goldie has said, it's an 18-month term and we're not that far away from the next Rugby World Cup. Do you think one of the reasons that they went with Dave Rennie was because he has success almost immediately with teams that he's coached? Pitty brought up his time at the Wellington Lions. I think he had success almost the first year that he became head coach with the Wellington Lions. The same thing when he went to the Chiefs. He had immediate success with the Chiefs. So are they looking for not a quick fix, but someone who can get their game plan across and a bit of culture into that All Black team ready for a World Cup in around, less than 2 years?
Yeah, when you speak to guys that have been coached by him, and recently too, I was speaking to Sean Stevenson, Anton Leonard-Brown, they mention culture, they mention connection, they mention how much he cares for them, and it sounds like the whole family cares as well. A few of them mentioned Dave Rennie's wife and things like that, and just how lovely people they are, and that you want to play for the guy. He gets around you, you get around him. So it seems like a great 18-month appointment by all chat. Sounds like Jamie Joe's want for like a 6-year deal was probably his downfall at this time right now. But I think Dave Rennie's the perfect guy for now. Geez, it would be a great fairy tale story too. Pitty mentioned that at Wallabies appointment, like he was stitched up there, right? With the team he had available, his record was really good. And you see guys like Quade Cooper and that saying he should have stayed on and that the All Blacks got a good one. So I think it's an exciting time as All Black fans. We can be really tunnel focused on this next process through till the end of the next World Cup. And I'm expecting some good results. I'm excited about it.
Jeff's frozen, so obviously he really is. He's not having a good day at all. But I guess, is it a good thing that Dave Rennie will have a tour to South Africa to try and, I guess, build that culture that he wants within the team, and also, I guess, pick the players that he wants, find out exactly how good the combinations go? And if we look at a question, who is the first person or the first player that Dave Rennie selects? And I'm thinking captain. So, Surly, who do you think Dave Rennie will select first?
I'm going to give you the answer you want, and it's a man he's coaching at Japan at the moment. I think it's Ardie Savea as the first cab off the rank, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's skipper too. He obviously spoke highly of Scott Barrett already, and everyone does. Scott's a great player and a great leader as well. But I do wonder if there is potential for change there. Obviously, they've been in that Japanese environment at Kobe having a look around, and Ardie is there, of course, as well. So I'm sure he would have had a say, or he would have been asked around Dave Rennie. And yeah, I think he would be one of, if not the first names on paper for sure.
Pitty, do you have a differing opinion to Surly, or do you think it's fairly straightforward?
Probably echo the same conversation that words that have come out of Surly's mouth around the captaincy. Definitely Ardie. And then I guess it'll be just who he can build from there. I know there's no disrespect to Scott. He's been a great leader, and all that, but I feel in terms of the type of player that not only sort of on the field but off the field, Ardie sort of seems to sort of bring a good culture of together with the team.
Jeff, you may have missed the question. The question was, who do you think will be the first player that Dave Rennie selects for the All Blacks? And Surly and Pitty have both said Ardie Savea. Are you thinking along the same lines?
I think it'll be Tupou Vai. I think for me, I'm looking for. I'm not sure Ardie Savea wants to be the All Black captain. I'm not full time. I'm not convinced on that. And we've got to find out where we play him. We've got to work out whether he's going to have great value at 7 or 8 for the All Blacks going forward. I think we've got some areas we need to look at that. And I think Tupou Vai, for me, is growing and growing every year in terms of his performance, his leadership. You can see, I think he's the heart and soul of the Chiefs when he plays and plays well. And you've seen, I think, in the last 2 years, a real maturity in his game. look, I've been on record as well talking. I think Cody Taylor is a really strong option as an All Black captain, because he'll be one of the first names you write down at hooker as a starting hooker, an international hooker. Yes, Samasoni Tokiaho's playing outstanding, but once again, I think he's an impact player. I think the biggest challenge here is, and this is part of it, is selection, is who they pick. The guys that they pick, the guys that they trust, who are going to be all in. And when I mean that are going to be prepared to make the sacrifices necessary, because, Piri, as you know, sometimes your best impact in the All Blacks is not in the starting 15. It can be off the bench. Sometimes it's not even in the 23. And so I think everyone's got to learn and understand about playing their role in the squad. And that squad is going to be deep. It's going to be huge. That goes to South Africa. And I think you just can't have anyone in the squad who's going to be thinking me first. You have to be thinking team first. And that's where I think that the coaching staff, and even more importantly, the selection panel, whoever that might be, and it won't be the team of 5 or 7 or every coach is involved. It'll be Dave Rennie and a couple others who have the responsibility of putting the right people. I'm selecting my All Black team on character, and that are going to stick for the next 18 months to task and go, you know what? If they say to me I'm number 17 or I'm number 19 or 23 or I'm 30, you do what's necessary to win. And so I think that's where Dave Rennie's first challenge will be, is finding the guys who are actually all in, who can actually leave the past behind and take any chip on their shoulder or disappointment, because they're all now competing for spots. So that's where I think this race could be won this year, is who are the players they see are actually going to put the All Black jersey first.
Surely, does that mean we've almost got a clean slate here with all of the players and we're all starting from zero sort of thing? And does that mean that how they perform in Super Rugby is even more important than maybe the last couple of seasons?
That's how Dave Rennie made it sound, and I believe him as well, which is exciting, right? Because it adds so much to the Super Rugby season, and matchups across the park become so interesting each week, especially in these derby games. But yeah, he made it pretty clear that he doesn't carry in any bias. He just wants to pick the best available players that are playing the best footy at the moment. And I'm sure for some guys that perhaps feel a little bit hard done by or feel like they should have been in the All Black system already, it is a massive and exciting opportunity for them to start with a bit of a clean slate and let their footy do their talking, because it's not based on reputation or predetermined ideas or anything like that. Now, I'm not saying that it was before, but yeah, he made it sound like there is clearly no bias and he's going to pick whoever's playing the best footy, which as a fan made me smile, that's for sure.
Fitty, obviously, international rugby is not just about the 15 who are starting, as Jeff alluded to, also those on the bench. Do you have to go in with a different mindset if you're selected on the bench as opposed to starting? Does that affect how you approach the game?
No, all it is trying to prep mentally for your opportunity. So whether you start off the bench or even if you're not in the 23 that week, it's what you can do to help the starting 15. And so we'll try and always keep an eye on in terms of what tendencies opposition run, and we try and throw them at the team so that they can see those options available, or they can read those pictures, just to help them mentally see things, but not. And within that, how they can sort of nullify all their threats and then turn it into from a weakness to them into a strength, into a weakness. And for us that were on the bench, when we were part of the 23, we had to mentally prepare for us to go on early, or if we go on in the last 20 or 30 minutes of the game. It's a tough one, because someone can go down in the first minute of the game, and if you're not mentally prepared for that and it takes you half an hour to get into the game, by then the game could be gone. So it's make sure that during the week you've got everything down, from the team structures, the opposition, who you're playing against, the position that you're playing against, the person that you're going up against, making sure you know what their strengths are and trying to turn those into weaknesses when you get your opportunity, and be prepared right from the first whistle, because I've come on in a test match in Tri Nations in South Africa, and when Byron Kelleher come off, and if I wasn't prepared well enough, I was going to be looking like a little boy. So I was lucky enough that we'd done all the prep during that week, that when I did get on the field, I was happy as to get on there, but at the same time, I had to make sure, actually, my job is I've got to make sure we stick to our structures when there's opportunities, try and create some opportunities for the boys.
Right. Jeff, finally, is it a blessing or a curse that Dave Rennie will have a tour to South Africa to help mould this team? And are results super important over there?
Yeah, look, the whole season is going to be a huge benefit to them. It's just a matter of who's going to be available and whether or not we're going to see maybe some new faces or returning faces to New Zealand rugby. And just touching on what Piri was talking about there, though, I think this is where we've been, I think, a little bit naive to the fact that experience off the bench is absolutely critical. Like, those are the moments you win games now, and you're seeing in big games some guys who quite potentially could be starters actually coming off the bench, because that's when games will be won or lost. And so I think we've been in a habit of quite often having a lack of experience on the bench. Look at the difference Patrick Tuipulotu makes when he comes on for the All Blacks when he hasn't played, because that's the benefit of knowledge and preparation and understanding when his moment will come, and it could come early, it could come late. But what you see is he can quickly go out there and perform. Now, I think we've been guilty too often of not having enough experienced players in our groups to say, you know what, when the pressure comes on and games are going to be tight, we need guys who can respond and understand the moment. We've just been light on numbers. And for me, I think we've got to be desperate to find ways to get players involved. So having this tour to South Africa, you're going to need to be deep. You're going to need to have experience. And the fact that we've got a lot of players who have left off and gone offshore with experience. We've got some who are leaving. What do you do with them this year? I'm going to keep banging this drum. Does Dalton Papali'i have massive value, even though you know that he is leaving at the end of the season with a second group in South Africa, knowing how to front up against the Sharks in Durban, the Stormers in Cape Town? So for me, we've got to be very, very careful that when I come back to selection, you've got to have the right guys who can make the right sacrifices and be as experienced and mature as that Piri's talking about, so you can deal with the adversity. So I think this is going to be a tough year, but also a massive opportunity. And I think the All Blacks can get a great deal out of the next 8 months to prepare themselves for a Rugby World Cup in Australia next year.
Right. We'll move on, because we could spend the whole pod just talking about Dave Rennie and his appointment, but I have no doubt we will be discussing him in future pods. And, of course, his first ever All Black squad will be one of the most anticipated in recent times. Can't wait for that. Right, let's get to the draft. And, of course, we've got two co-coaches, Steve Devine and Jeff Wilson, with one squad. We've had 10 players selected. We've got 5 more to go each. And I just want to remind everyone that after we've selected 15 players each, Lee, our producer, is going to put all of our squads into AI and ask AI who has the best squad selected for Super Rugby. Who went first? Was it you or was it Surly? Was it you?
Well, can't have been Steve.
Whoa! Yeah, it's draft time. So, with your 11th pick of the Super Rugby draft, who are you taking?
Gone with because I need another lock. Lukan Salakaya Loto.
Okay. Good luck spelling that one, Lee. I am going... I need a...
You need a hand because you took one of mine from last week. So.
Was it me or was it Steve who was second?
Steve was third, I think.
Was he? Do you remember?
It won't even make any difference, mate. Carry on. You can just go.
I'll go.
You won't be taking my guy.
I need a... Well, I haven't got any wingers yet, so I'm going to take Caleb Clark. Boom.
Good selection. Nice. Really nice selection, that. Cortez Ratama. How can the All Black halfback not have been selected by now?
Okay. Surly, You've got a couple of picks.
Jeez, I feel like Jeff's throwing shade at all of us, not just Steve, but that's good stuff.
I got more to come, don't you worry about that. There's not enough Highlanders out there, I can tell you.
I need a 13. I'm going to take Billy Proctor after the weekend.
And you go again.
I do. I need a prop. I will take Ufa Tongafasi after destroying the Crusaders.
You're playing up tight here to loose head.
I'll let him decide. I'll go tight.
Okay. Who's next then?
Jeff. Back to Jeff.
Basilio Tossi. For me, at tight head.
Oh.
And the Hurricanes.
So those are two of the props I was going to take. So I better take the last one that I've got here. Fletcher Newell.
It's me now, eh?
Yeah.
Correct.
Harry Wilson. I need a number 8.
Okay.
Oh, it's me again.
You
eh?
again.
Dalton Papali'i.
Sorry, I already took him.
Win.
There. Have a look at. Yeah.
Seriously, mate.
There.
That's all right. I've got it back up.
Jeff's guy's gone. I saw that reaction.
Dalton.
I'll go with Bauer. I needed a loose head prop.
Boom.
I couldn't take Dalton unless I would have moved them around. Are we moving players around just for the fit? You can't do that, you know? So, who are we back to?
You.
Oh, back to me?
No, is it me?
Yes, it's you.
Is it me? I need a halfback, so I'm going to take Noah Hotham.
No, it was Surly's first pick.
Yeah, I've already got him, mate.
Have you?
On the second round.
Can you have a look at the sheet that
Oh,
you sent
gee.
through each week, Paulie?
Oh, okay. Oh, forget that.
I will forget it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Kyron Tamoifalau. He's my other winger.
The guy who hasn't been making the Chiefs for some reason. What's going on there? He's playing Bs, right?
He is.
Imani Nanawa's playing B, so
Yeah,
he should never have gone. Let's be honest. He should never have signed with the Chiefs. Never.
No.
Whose turn?
yours.
Jacob Rantamatabuki Nikens, please.
What a player. What a player. I need another prop. I'll go with George Bauer. And then I need another midfielder.
Hey, have you got him?
Yeah, I just said I've taken him.
When?
Just before?
Yeah. I said I needed a prop and I said Bauer.
Did you say Bauer?
Yes. Well, who else
Were
did
you on mute?
I said.
I thought you said Gower, David
Yeah.
Gower. used to play for England.
Okay,
He's got no idea who David Gower is. What are you on about?
neither do I. I thought he said
Exactly.
Paddy. I thought he said Paddy Gower. I was like, that's old. He'd go good though. He'd give you everything. I'll go with Xavier Numia then. And then my other midfielder, I need a 12. A lot are gone, but I'll go with Pitaki.
Oh, yeah, good pick.
I've got to get a couple of loose forwards. Devin Flanders. The blind side.
Yeah,
He was unreal.
he was. Oh, crikey. Has the Highlanders halfback gone yet?
Well, it would help if you could name him. Which one do you want, Paulie?
Smith.
Fakatava hasn't
What's
gone,
his
no.
first name?
Yeah, I'll go Fakatava.
Only because you didn't know Smith's first name.
No, it's not even Smith.
Aaron Smith.
Yeah, Aaron. That's who I was thinking of. Bring him back.
Good
I'll
stuff.
take Fakatava as halfback. Yep.
Were you thinking of Adam Lennox?
Yes. Nah, I'll take Lennox. Beautiful. Done.
Oh, we have one more pick?
Yeah.
One more. One to go, haven't we?
Okay.
Yeah.
This is chaos.
It's,
I need a centre too. Has Pritchard been selected?
No.
Pritchard. And for
Hayden
my last
Pritchard.
pick, I will take Dupes. Duplessis Karifi.
Oh, yeah. Handy.
And I've got one to go. I need a number 8. And so I'm going to go Pete Samu. Number 8 for me.
Nice. I need a lock, but I'm actually going to play Samapeni Finau at lock, so...
He's been picked. What do you want about?
Yeah,
You picked him 4.
Yeah, I know. What I'm saying is I've picked him and I've written him down as a 6, but I'm going to move him to lock, so then...
No, just can't. You can't.
I'll grab a lock. Fabian Holland. Has anyone got him? No, good.
Okay, well, I need a lock. I'm going to play Will Jordan at lock. I'm going to pick another fullback. I need a lock as well. I'll take the All Black captain, Scott Barrett.
So how can you take Fabian Holland when he's not playing the whole season?
Yeah, at least Scott's coming back, right?
Don't worry about it. It'll all be put into AI. AI will it'll back me up.
And it'll come back with, but Fabian Holland's not playing the whole season. That's what AI will say. That's what it'll say to you. Is this a team you want to actually go on the field, or is it just a hypothetical?
We'll let AI decide that. Don't worry about it. Jeez,
Right.
Jeff.
Okay.
You're on fire. Okay, where do we go now? Should we have a look at last week's games, or should we touch on the Six Nations, because it's so exciting at the moment? Any one of 3 teams can still win these Six Nations. So I want to I want you guys to take one team each of those 3 that can win, and tell me why you think that team will win. We'll start with you first, Jeff. And Jeff, you've been drawn Scotland.
And no problems with that, because this is a team I thought was done after round 1 when they lost to Italy. And I said that their slim chances of winning the Six Nations at that point were high. What they've done is a remarkable turnaround, playing some outstanding footy. The one reason, and it's a simple reason, his name's Finn Russell. It's because when he is on, he is incredibly difficult to stop. In saying that, though, there's no doubt around him. He's probably got the best crop of Scottish players they've had, possibly ever, in terms of ability at the international level. So you have to give them real credit, their system, their development. But Finn Russell's the guy that, he's a match winner. And that's what you need in a first 5, pure and simple. So if you look at the way that they are playing, they've got some endeavour, they've got some finishing. Look, they've got some creativity. Scored a wonderful set-piece try off a line-out on the weekend. They did start to fall off the cliff in the last sort of 15 minutes of that game, but it was well and truly won by then. Look, to score 50 points in a test match against France is remarkable. So they're a shot. They're a real shot this weekend, riding a wave of momentum. And so if they put another performance like that on the board, it could be theirs to lose.
Very nice. Surly, you've been drawn Ireland.
Yeah, well, they're just great people, the Irish, aren't they? They'll be fueled, they'll have a skin full, they'll be showing up to this game ready to rip in. And I feel like ever since they've got their selections right over the last couple of weeks, I think their game has returned. And that loose forward trio in particular has been extremely impressive. I think Crowley, his boot, has been massive for them as well, and he is certainly their 10. And yeah, after the first week of the competition, I was really worried for them. But I feel like over the last couple of weeks, they've looked a whole lot better. In particular, that win over England would have given them so much more confidence. And yeah, they just look more like the Irish of old in a way. So look, they have as good a chance as any. I actually hope my team loses that I've been given. I hope Scotland win it, but go the Irish for the case of this segment.
Irish, nice people, but I hope they lose. That's what Surly said.
Finn Russell's my favourite player in the world, so it's hard to go against.
Boom.
Favourite in the world?
World.
Yeah. He's my favourite player to watch by a country mile.
Not every week.
Well,
hey, remember, you're arguing for Scotland, Goldie.
Yeah, but not every week. But
Jeff,
he's a hell of a player.
I used to be a big Quade Cooper fan, so that goes to show
that's not every week.
I'm happy to sit through some crap to enjoy some greatness in there as well.
You're not wrong, though. There's some special stuff from those guys, right?
Yeah.
When they're on, they're on.
Right, Pity, you've got France.
You don't mean that, Pity. You do not like the French. I know you, mate.
No, I think the style of footy that they're playing at the moment, I don't think England can even stay at the same speed of the game. Obviously, they're going through a bit of pressure themselves, losing to Italy. So I have a feeling that the French will win the Six Nations this year. And England may be someone might be applying for a new head coaching role.
Well, I'm glad you brought that, and we'll just keep that in the back of our minds.
Hey,
but
Pity,
yes.
would you rather support France or spend a week in Canberra?
I'll support France.
I'll spend a week in Canberra. Like, it wasn't that bad.
Wow.
It wasn't summer, and I had my golf clubs.
That's
and
a great
lots of golf clubs. And so I'm like,
you could have been anywhere.
I could have been anywhere. So I found something to do in Canberra.
Was that during like rugby season, or was that the summer?
No. It was like in November, and it was nice. It was really good. It was nice. Yeah.
Golf course.
Yep.
That's the draw card for Goldie, the golf course.
What a great tourism slogan for Canberra. Canberra, it's not that bad.
Only in summer with a little extra. And if you play golf. Yeah.
Who did you draw?
Well, they're the only three that are in contention. So
you don't have to do anything.
Well, I put it.
At least it's like
that's the point of the podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Paulie doesn't have to do anything.
Gee, Jeff, he's unlocked the secret. It's unbelievable.
Paulie, who do you think's going to win it, mate? Who do you think's going to win it, Paulie?
Yeah, Paulie, you pick one of the three. Well, Paulie, you pick.
And let's just pick one for him, mate.
It might come down to bonus points. It might come down to bonus points. And England are travelling over the channel to take on the French. The French are very, very warm favourites at home, as they should be, against an English side. And as you mentioned, a coach who may be under quite a bit of pressure. And then we've, of course, got Scotland up against Ireland. Massive, massive game there. So, look, the French might be able to just look at and see exactly what they have to do. And I think they'll be able to step up a gear. I'm not so sure England will be able to. So I think the French will get there. The big talking point is the Italians are favourites against Wales in Wales.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have happened before, surely. I can't. There's no way.
In the last couple of seasons, it might have been close, to be honest.
They deserve to be, for sure.
I think you're right. They do deserve to be.
No, 100%. They're playing very, very well. I do like that. Is he the centre or the second fighter?
Yeah, their midfield's dangerous.
They're very, very dangerous. That Tommaso, I'm not going to attempt his last name.
At least you got his first name.
He was in your Super Rugby draft, wasn't he?
Tommaso. Right. Fitty mentioned that there might be a coach who's under a wee bit of pressure this weekend, and it's Mr. Borthwick. Do you think he's in danger of possibly losing his spot? Not too far away from a World Cup, and if he were to be replaced, who do you think should replace him? Goldie?
He's coaching for his job this weekend. I think pure and simply. He loses, I think they'll go in a new direction. I think if he wins, and he wins well, look, they had a really strong streak going. It's hard to argue against that. And I'm not sure he's got some of his selections right. I think that's been a bit of an issue. But in terms of replacements, it's if he was to lose this weekend, and I think that they would look at a change there because they love to react. I'm not sure Jamie Joseph would be interested in heading up. When he came back to New Zealand, I got the sense that he was very much looking forward to living back in Dunedin. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's looking at the All Black scenario and going, it's a two-year proposition, 18 months, and there's another conversation going on. And who knows what Dave Rennie wants to do post-Rugby World Cup. So I'm not sure Jamie would be in that conversation. I'd be fascinated to know what they have locally, which English coaches around the world they're going, you know what, they're good enough and prepared enough to be able to take on England. And the challenge is year and a bit out. You know, we've just made the change. I'll be surprised if he doesn't survive. I'll be very surprised.
Right. Surely, have you got a replacement if indeed he does go?
No, well, the Jamie Joe one's interesting, right? But I don't think he would be that keen. Where's Clayton McMillan? Is he in Ireland at the moment? Geez, that would be interesting too. I'm just thinking Kiwi coaches that could coach at that level, even like a Leo McDonald or someone like that. But you start to get a bit creative, don't you? It's 3 weeks ago now that he was on the greatest streak since Clive Woodward, correct? So how quickly things can turn. And I would say typical kind of English right there, but I feel like All Blacks coaches have had similar scrutiny as of late as well. So yeah, it's an interesting one to sit back and watch from here, because I feel like 3 weeks ago I was thinking, geez, Rugby World Cup, there's no great result for the All Blacks, is there, whether you finish first or second in your pool? We've got a tough game, but now the English look like a team you want to play. So how quickly things can change in World Rugby.
But Pity, as the great former Kiwis coach Graham Lowe used to say, there's two kinds of coaches, those getting fired and those waiting to be fired. So if Borthwick was to go, do you have a replacement ready to jump in and take the English to the next World Cup?
No, I haven't even thought about that part of it.
Razor?
Wow, he's available.
But would he take his coaching staff with him too over there, or would he have to recruit? You know, that'll be an interesting one.
Even Ronan O'Gara, there's guys out there, right?
Yeah. Well, Pat Land's been over there for quite some time with the Bristol Bears, and obviously a few ex-players are coaching abroad. So, yeah, but I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do after this weekend, whether he wins or lose. Like, to have a couple of weeks where you've lost a few important games from a pretty good streak is, you know, it's not easy. But I mean, at the same time, if you're at the top of the peak of your game as a squad, there's got to be things that you miss up or you fall short on, and maybe that's probably why they haven't got those results. And maybe it's just something that they need to review internally as a squad in terms of making sure that it doesn't happen this weekend.
Could I throw out a internal promotion or promoting from within? John Mitchell jumps from the Red Roses to coach.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he could be a good little short-term appointment. He's already employed by the English rugby. It'll be interesting.
Well, okay. Let's have a quick look at last weekend's games in Super Rugby Pacific. First up, the Chiefs were just too good for Moana Pacifica, who scored some nice tries, but this is going to be a tough season for Moana, Pity.
100%. I actually thought Moana were going to go into this really well, and they matched for a bit, but then I feel like their depth isn't where it should be. You know, I feel like I know for them having depth isn't their strength, but I mean, I would have thought that they would have done a lot better in terms of how it all panned out. But man, I feel like the Chiefs were just on fire right from the get-go. You know, the combinations, seeing space and their awareness, and some of their key players just stepping up. Quinn Tupai has been massive for the last 4 weeks, actually. It's almost like he's turning from just a midfielder, but he's going in there and looking to go and steal ball as well as a back. A little bit like
Tavanawa.
Yeah. You know, having that same sort of mold. So I feel like he's growing a bit in the off-season in terms of his game, because a couple of times as he was coming back into the fold, you know, he would have a little dabble but wouldn't be very strong. But every time he's having a crack at the ball, he's pretty strong over the ball. And it's just another element to his game that's growing.
Surly, do you think the Chiefs were a little bit angry after their loss to the Crusaders the previous weekend, and Moana Pacifica just felt that a wee bit?
Yeah, I think everyone just expected it regardless, right? Even if the Chiefs had got the win the week before and they weren't fired up to get revenge. I just think they got so much depth. Their edge attack is great to watch. Geez, their skill set down those short sides and just moving the ball. They just have way too much talent. And for a side like Moana that is kind of already on the ropes at the moment and needs a full-strength team out there just to be able to fire some shots, it was almost... I thought the end score was going to be bigger than what it was. So credit to them. They scored some nice tries, individual tries as well. But yeah, the Chiefs just too good. And I'm excited to see what they look like in a few more weeks' time post this bye with Damian McKenzie really cementing himself back in. Cortez back in the mix as well. That combination firing again. And they'll get some more bodies back. Well, it's a TT in that. So yeah, the Chiefs could be crazy in 3 or 4 weeks' time.
But Jeff, talking about bounce-back games, the Hurricanes went across to Sydney after losing in Fiji and taught the Waratahs a wee bit of a lesson.
I was really disappointed in the Waratahs. Defensively, they were poor. But the Hurricanes were crisp, were clean. Look, it was vastly different to what they played in Fiji. I thought Harkin did a good job. Look, Geordie Barrett made some really smart decisions. They played with tempo and speed. They kept the ball alive, and the Waratahs were sort of chasing ghosts a bit. So, I think it was a really strong performance from the Hurricanes. But it was more for me about that was the Waratahs we'd seen the last couple of seasons where when they were bad, it was just easy. So they got some soul searching to do, I think. I'll just quickly go back to Moana, just one comment. They released a lot of players at the back end of last year, and so their depth has been severely hurt. And so some of those guys they've invested a few years in, now they're out of the fold, and that's where I think they had some of their security. And William Harvey not being there is massive for them, just in terms of he's become a really, really nice Super Rugby player, and I think any team he is in now is making them better. Without him, they just didn't have, I don't think, the same game control. So ultimately, it's going to be a tough year for MP. And if the Waratahs don't sort out some of those issues, they're going to struggle against New Zealand teams. I really believe that. So Hurricanes, I don't know if they're a sleeper because the squad's strong. I think it's just hard for us, the fact they've got no established 10 they can fall back on to really trust them week in, week out, because as we know, it's a hard position to play. But with Roigard and Geordie Barrett, man, if they can control things like the way they control things in the weekend, they're going to be tough.
Pity, how far is Ruben Love away?
What?
I think it's 2 weeks, isn't it?
2. Is it?
Are you acting like I've been in camp? And...
You got the inside oil. I know you have.
Inside oil. I'll stay away from that place out in Upper Hutt.
Wellington is a very small place. Come on. Let's move on. Jeff, the Highlanders back in the winning circle again against a Force side who are very, very good, and you can't take them lightly.
Oh, certainly not. They had a good win the week before, and then what they've done is they have established a group of players that have got better together. I think it's pretty much largely the same squad that they had last year, and they've added a few little pieces to it. So, I just think they're going to be a team that won't go away against anybody. And if you don't prepare well, and the Highlanders had to work hard for it, there are a few teams that are going to rely heavily on their starting squads, their starting group, and the Highlanders are certainly one of those. So they're going to need breaks. That's my only concern about a few of these teams is that, you can only roll your top guys out so many weeks in a row. You've got to make sure you stay on top of that freshness. But that was big for the Highlanders. They needed that win. You've got to win at home when you can. So they got the job done, and some guys are showing some real form. And I think the one thing I love about Steve Devine's picks, he picked Jonah Nareki, because at the moment, I'll tell you what, he's become because he's been able to start in the field, we've started to see exactly how good he is as a rugby player. Everyone's raving about Caleb Tangatel for good reason. But I think Jonah Nareki's just doing as much on the other wing as Caleb is on a weekly basis.
Shirley, your favourite player, Carlo Tizzano, once again in a losing side, but he has scored a try every single week. The first 4 weeks of Super Rugby Pacific, he has dotted down. I I don't know what the bookies are going to do, but they're going to have to start dragging his odds in slightly because he continues to score.
I hope he buys that hooker a box of beers every week because he just hogs the ball at the back of that rolling maul, and that has been a hooker's try for the last 30-odd years. So no doubt they are fuming, but yeah, he's a great anytime try scorer option. I'm really keen too around this Zack Lomax announcement. It's effective immediately, right? And that is a world-class player in terms of skill set and what he could potentially offer. So I'm keen to see how he transitions into rugby and what he could potentially bring to the game. When you look at not just like when you look at the Wallabies outside back stocks, it's crazy. So positionally, where's he going to play? How is he going to go at rugby, and how long is it going to take him to adjust? Because the Force might have just picked up a huge world-class talent.
Let's stick with Zack Lomax Max for the time being. They play the Hurricanes in Wellington this Friday night. Is there a chance we see Zack Lomax in Wellington? I don't mean as with a jersey or boots on, but does he? I mean, this is too short a turnaround, surely, for him to be slotted into the team somewhere and then to turn up and be playing just down the road here.
I think we see him 28th of March. So they play the Canes away this week. Then they have the bye, and then they play the Chiefs at home. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see him off the bench against the Chiefs at home. He's been living in Melbourne. By all accounts, he was sure he was going to be playing for the Melbourne Storm. So he's got to move up to Perth or wherever it is, across wherever to Perth, and then he's got to pick up and adjust to a whole new game. So.
Where do you see him playing, Pity? The wing? Did they put him on the wing to start?
His aerial games is pretty handy. Like if you're looking for a winger that can go and fetch a ball for high balls, he's definitely the type of person that you want. Very similar to what Falau had, that aerial game. But not only that, he runs some pretty good solid lines as well. So he could be in the mix of midfield / wing.
Goldie, where would you have him?
Oh, it's a gret question because every time we try and transition someone back into rugby or into the game, it's a hard place to try and turn and teach, and to do it at Super Rugby level. You sort of, I think it's play him on the wing and try and teach him not to turn in like every rugby league winger ever does. And I think that's the hardest thing is you have to play a little bit softer with him, maybe defensively. But it's not a bad place to be able to learn. If you put him in the midfield, all of a sudden there is just no time and there is no space, and you need time, I think, to adjust. But you can then use the skill set really well. But I would go on the outsides, and then you can use them simply if you really want to just get them involved in the game. You can use them off a set piece. But I think for me it's a hard one. Find him some club rugby somewhere. Just quickly go out and play a few games. Even do something silly like play at fullback randomly, in a game of club rugby, and actually just sit and watch from the back. And if you can get with a good coach and a few experienced players, just some teaching moments. But good athletes like that are hard to find, so I think he'll be okay.
I think fullback's a genuine option as well. Like, I haven't seen him kick much off the foot, but off the tee, he's got a great boot, and he just seems like one of those gifted, well-balanced athletes that moves really well as well. And when you look at their outside backs, like Jorgensen, Nwanganitawase, like they are stacked in those wing positions as well. So I think if you could teach him to play centre, that would be great, but you don't throw him in there straight away either because his offload potential is massive. I still think Joseph Suali's best position would be on the wing as well. So what the Wallabies do come next year, if a guy like Lomax, if Angus Crichton, if they work out to be Wallaby quality and they're going to have to play better than a whole bunch of great rugby players already, then they will have so many options in that back line.
Yeah, great.
Your mate Max Jorgensen is another one. Right, let's move on. Blues beat the Crusaders at Eden Park last weekend. This is a bit of a roller coaster ride for the Crusaders. They struggled in the early part of the season, then surprised everyone after being down 14-0 early to the Chiefs and getting over the top of them, and then they fall to the Blues. So what do we take from this, Jeff?
The Crusaders are struggling. They've got no flow into their game. Look, the first 40 minutes of this game is a really good contest, but the Crusaders they're not clicking right now. The second 40 was dire. If you're watching it, kickfest, frustrating to watch, disappointing a lot of fronts. But I'm just not sure what to make about the Crusaders, and this is where it comes down to you take a Will Jordan out of the mix, and for whatever reason he wasn't playing in the game. And then all of a sudden, it just allows the opposition to play a kicking game where there wasn't really that threat at the backfield. Fundamental errors. The Crusaders, to me, were so impressive the week before. Sometimes that takes a little bit out of a squad. And I think maybe that did. But I was surprised. But in saying that, this Blues team, there's something about them. There's a bit of grit. There's some real grit there. And when you have guys like a Cody Vai come out and play the game that he played, which was outstanding for a young fella, it means there's some real confidence there. I really like the way Zahn Sullivan started this season. I like the way Caleb Clark looks as though he's in really good form, and so all of a sudden there's a bit of a traditional way they play, and then you put Beauden Barrett back into the mix, and when he's able to run a game and there's a little bit of creativity in the first half, you get what you get. So I think the Crusaders are struggling. They need some answers. I don't know where those answers are going to come from. Will Jordan can't do everything for them. If they start relying on him too much, then it's going to be tough.
Blues, impressive, very impressive.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty strong. Couple of good touches from their wingers, but not only that, Lamb's been playing outstanding in the midfield there when he gets his opportunities. As Goldie said, Sullivan's been playing outstanding at the back there. But I think that not only that, I feel their forwards are sort of growing as well. Physical, trying to be very dominant in certain parts of their game, not just sort of at the collision, but also making sure that they, get all the threats out of at the breakdown, just so they can move the ball to the explosive and threatening back three. But yeah, I was impressed with the way that the Blues played on the weekend, especially.
How good was Sam Derry? In the moment you can take away a part of the game, like the line out away from a team which has usually got a strong platform, it just can take a team right out of their pattern and momentum, and it just take everything away. I agree with you, Puri. I think the forward pack, given they've got a huge number of injuries and have had some injuries in their front row, they're competing really hard. So, don't sleep on them because they were good. I mean, they were unlucky to lose the week before. Yeah. They could quite easily be at 3-1, quite easily.
But let's look at that. The Brumbies broke the hearts of the Blues last weekend. Well, the tables got turned 2 weekends ago. The tables got turned the weekend just gone with the Reds. How did they come back? How did the Brumbies let that lead go?
It's literally that Blues game from the week before in reverse, right? How did the Blues lose to the Brumbies? How did the Brumbies let that lead go? I think we hinted at this too last week on the pod. We said that the Brumbies, they've had an emotional couple of weeks. They would have come over for that Crusaders game. James Slipper, big occasion for them. They would have been up for that. They poured a lot into that, and then they had to dig deep to pull off that comeback win against the Blues. So I almost feel like the Reds caught them off the back of a bye at the perfect time. And their loose forward trio, extremely impressive. I thought Carter Gordon was really good in the 10 jersey as well, which the Wallabies coaching staff will be happy about because that is an area that they need to lock down and 100% certain go-to player there. And yeah, it was an exciting game to watch. I feel like when the Reds are on, they are a really good team to watch. And it's great to see no unbeaten teams in the competition now. This is the sign of Super Rugby this year. Anyone can almost beat anyone on their day.
Right, what are we doing? Oh, crikey. Let's move on.
What a shot.
Unless you...
Are we running late? No.
Unless you got... Well, we were held up at the beginning. We've moved on.
Why.
We've moved on. No, let's not mention it. Let's do a little bit of a trading places segment. This is where we name a rugby player, past or present, who we think could be successful in another occupation and or sport. And with Formula One kicking off in Australia the past weekend, I thought we'd look at a rugby player who might be able to grab a Ferrari in F1 and send it round the course at quick speed time. Jeff, are you going to put yourself in the driver's seat?
Not a chance. But what I will do, I mean, you're thinking you obviously need an element of fear, fearlessness, right? Is the fact you roll the dice at any point and have a crack, because you just don't have time in that sport. You need quick reactions, quick hands, plenty of chat because they, plenty of confidence. I'm going to go Andrew Mertens.
Ooh,
I'd put him in that category where you could just put him in there, and the confidence would be there, and the smarts and everything would happen to make decisions quick enough. I think he was the guy that the more you put him in the car, the more he'd start to believe, and then it wouldn't be a problem because everything he generally puts his skills towards, it usually goes pretty good.
Andrew Mertens. All right, Surly.
I'm going to go with former Speedway superstar Cam Roygaard. He's already done the apprenticeship. He's good behind the wheel, so chuck him straight back in, and he is Melbourne ready. The bloke can do everything, so I think he would go great at F1 because, motorsport's been a big part of his life. He's ready to go.
Pity, are you driving?
Oh, hell no. Although as much as I would love to
give it a go,
giving it a crack, I'll go with Andre Taylor. He's done stock cars himself, so I'll pick him with his speed and being able to see, I guess, lines that he ran during Super Rugby and also NPC when he was tearing it up. I think that he'll transition from that into a Formula One car.
I'm going to pick a former Highlander. I'm going to go Joe McDonnell.
Bus driver.
Yeah, we'll see. There we go. He already can manoeuvre a bus around. If you can manoeuvre a bus around, it's pretty similar to a Formula One car, really, isn't it?
The nickname Pudding, would you put someone whose nickname was Pudding? I'm pretty sure there's a strict regime in terms of strength and conditioning and, Yeah,
these things are battery-powered these days, Paul. They need all the help they can get. Come on.
I wouldn't doubt his driving ability.
Look, we may have to modify the car slightly, but I think he's got the skill to do it. Joe McDonnell Pudding. Oh, I love that. Nice.
Everyone's doing that
Metallica anyway. Petrol head. He's probably a bit too big to fit in the car, too tall.
Imagine his big melon out the top of it.
The aerodynamic.
Everyone behind will be giving it this one. I can't see above him. Imagine the drag on that thing. Imagine the drag on that.
Oh, righty-ho. Time for a bit of betting.
Is that what we do here?
That's what we do. I'll have a look at last week. And I'll tell you what, our head-to-head bets are horrible. Last week, we were 0 from 3. The week before, we were 0 from 4. It was horrible.
It's hard when the teams aren't out. I'm going to caveat that excuse.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. So I think Surly had the Waratahs last week. I had the Brumbies, so they all but won. So it's sort of a moral victory for me.
No, my best head-to-head was the Chiefs over Moana.
Yeah, $1. And Steve Devine had the Crusaders against his Blues. So that was poor. Our point start, Steve Devine had the Chiefs minus 26.5. Nice, that won. I had the Waratahs plus 2.5. No. And Surly had the Reds plus 7.5. So nice one there. The winning team in margins, I think Surly had the Crusaders 1-12. No. I had either the Tars or the Canes to win by under 7.5. Wasn't even close when the whistle blew to start the game. And then Steve went crazy. He had a draw in the Tars-Canes game, which didn't happen. And then we had try scorers. Who did you have? Oh, you had Jorgensen at $1.88. So nice.
How did he score that, by the way? He had half a metre and Roygaard in front of him.
Yeah. He's a lock for the Wallabies. Anyway, and
are you going to play him?
In your team, he is.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Steve had the Mighty Williams. He did not score, and I had Caleb Tangito at $1.73, and he did score. Right.
Mighty didn't play. That's rough on Steve.
Well, too bad.
He did rock up wearing a money suit with a wad of cash, so it's his own fault.
He did, and I think he might have spent a wee bit of it at Ellerslie on Saturday. So
I woke up to some videos, Paulie. I still remember them, mate. Don't you worry. You and Steve Devine calling me out, or at least that's what I thought you were saying in amongst the dribble. But we'll move on.
Rightio, let's move on. Let's get to our best bets for this week, and we'll start with our best head-to-head for this week. Well, we should go through the we should go through the odds for this week prior to doing that. The Canes up against the Force. Canes $1.09, Force $7. The Canes are 19.5-point favourites at home, and the game total set at 58.5. Before we get to your bet, just how do you think this will play out, Goldie?
First game? Which one were we talking? I'm just sorry. I had my bets down here, and then all of a sudden you throw me out.
Canes Force.
Canes Force.
Canes will win. Canes will be comfortable. I don't think I've actually got that at 13 plus. I think so. I was going to use that as one of my margin bets and multi that up with the Blues 13 plus to be fair, over Moana $1.40 and $1.20 at that. So I think the Canes. I think the Force have been on the road. I've just got a feeling the Canes will come back and put another performance on.
Shirley, Canes too good?
Yeah, this is their third game in a row, New Zealand now, right? So I think this is where it really starts to take a toll.
Pity. Canes. Okay. Next game, the Drua up against the Brumbies in Fiji. The Drua $2.80 outsiders at home. The Brumbies are $1.42. They're 6.5-point favourites, the Brumbies, in Fiji, and the game total set at 57.5. Jeff, can the Drua upset the Brumbies here, or are they going to feel a bit of a bounce back from the Brumbies after that loss last weekend?
Where are they playing?
It's in Bar, it says. Yeah, and I can tell you now the weather is 31 degrees and thunderstorms, 71% humidity on Saturday.
So I don't know where that field is and that ground is and what it's going to be like. Look, the Drua have had a tough start to the season. But this is, if I was betting, it's a stay away. It is 100. Like for me, it's a stay away from, because I don't trust Fiji, and the fact that Brumbies had some tough games. When they're on, and at some point the Drua will be on and put on a performance, which they did against the Hurricanes, right? So, I think it's a really hard. This is hard. The odds here, if anything, you could probably. What's the point start look like for the Drua?
Yeah, plus 6.5. I was gonna say
somewhere around there, right?
That's appealing because they host the Chiefs next week, then they host the Tars the week after. I wouldn't be surprised if they look to rest a couple bodies after a big few weeks. So Fiji at home in those weather conditions, plus 6.5 could be a good way to go. But like you said, you just never know what type of draw team you're going to get. They're off a bye too, aren't they? So
yeah. What do they do in their bye week?
Fish.
Play golf in Canberra.
I think they might have been drinking the grog, eh? Yeah, mixed grog.
One another. One bet, you take Carlo Tizzano to score a try, I think, in this game, because that's what he does.
You mean hog the ball?
Well, he scores
at
tries.
The back of the maul.
Should we move on to the next game? Crusaders, Highlanders, the Southern Derby. And Crusaders, very short here for mine, $1.30. Highlanders are $3.30. The Crusaders are 8.5-point favourites at home. And the game total set at 54.5. Jeff, Highlanders, that's too much of a spread, isn't it? 8.5?
Yeah, I've got the point start here. I think it's just really nice. I think the Highlanders, they've beaten them once before this season, but also the Crusaders. Yeah, the Crusaders will be looking for something. But if you just went on form right now, you have to give the Highlanders a really good shot. Everyone's showing some really good signs. They're, like I say, playing good rugby. Timothy Tavatava-Nawai has been fantastic. I tell you who's been probably my find of the year, been Jonah Lowe. I think he's done a really, really good job in the 13 jersey, and it suits his skill set. He's not quite as dynamic on the outsides, I think, but he's using his speed really, really well defensively. He's not making poor decisions, got a high work rate. I think he might have found his position in Super Rugby, which is great for him because, he's sort of that guy that, wasn't really an out-and-out Super Rugby winger and was scrapping in those positions. The Highlanders, at the moment, he's keeping out Talia from playing and starting. So really like what Lowe's doing.
Right. Let's move on to punting. I'll tell you what the odds are for the other games. The Reds are $1.50 up against the Tars, and the Blues are $1.04 up against Moana Pacifica at $10. Let's get to betting. Your best head-to-head for the weekend. We'll start with you, Jeff. Best head-to-head.
Reds, $1.50.
Oh, Reds,
$1.50. Did I get you, Surly?
Yeah, you got me.
I got you. Good
Surly?
to know. $1.50, yep.
Where are you going then, Surly?
Wow. Thank you very much. There's not a lot else on offer in terms of value, is there?
I was going to jump in and no matter who he said, I was just going to say it. If he said to you to go first, I was going to, because that was the only one I could really find.
Yeah, wow.
Take the $1.04, Surly. Take the $1.04.
Can you do that?
Why don't you just take the same? You can take the $1.50. It's we can all be right. How about we all be right for a change and everyone be wrong?
Okay, I'll take the same and now watch the Tars win, but I'll take the same.
You'll be head to head, Pity.
Brumbies.
Brumbies at $1.42 in Fiji. Cool.
Yours?
I'm going to go. I'm tempted to take the Tars now. I'm going to take the Tars at $2.50.
So someone wins. Well done. Thinking.
Guaranteed. Okay, best point start. Goldie.
Highlanders.
8.5.
Highlanders. No, Highlanders.
You can have the same. Highlanders plus 8.5 for both Surly and Goldie.
Oh, jeez.
The weather's it's mint in Christchurch this week too. That was something I checked because I think that helps the Highlanders. Dry footy.
Reds?
You're going to take the Reds minus the points? Minus 5.5.
Whoa, that's a start.
Is that what you're doing?
Go the Canes minus, Pity. Let's have a cricket score in the cake tin.
Yeah, I'll go with Canes.
What are they? 18.5?
I don't even know. I'm just about to look at it.
Okay.
18.5.
Yeah, I'll take the Blues minus 26.5 up against Moana Pacifica. I think it's going to be tough for those boys. Right, and anytime try scorer, of course, teams haven't been named yet. Give it your best shot, though, Goldie.
Okay, here's one. I've got a hunch he's going to play this weekend. Xavier Taili. He's going to start, I think, for the Blues. I'm going there. So just when teams come out, he'll be paying something, but I'm looking forward to seeing this young man get some more opportunities. So I think this might be a week he gets that. That's just my sense.
Surly?
I'll go with Torian Barnes if he starts.
Tangito.
Caleb Tangito.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Shocker.
Pity's going to stop him. Unbelievable.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Where am I going to go? Am I going to go?
Yeah, you can't go him.
I was going to take a Chiefs player.
Oh, are you sure?
He might score a try at practice. I'm going to go with Asafa Omua. Score a try for the Canes. Final one. Oh, almost final one. Winning team and margin. Your best winning team and margin. Goldie.
I've gone the Canes and the Blues together, multi them up.
Wow.
13 plus
13 and over, 13 and over.
Yeah,
Nice.
I've got two teams. I think they're going to both win well.
Surly.
Give me the Landers 1 to 12 for some value.
Woo!
Me.
I don't want to copy Jeff for every bit.
It's not a good sign, Surly.
No, I was starting to think. Uh-oh.
Reds 1 to 12.
Reds 1 to 12. I'm also going to go to that game, the Reds Waratahs. I'm going to take either team to win by under 7.5 in the Reds Tars game. That's paying $2.50.
So you're backing against yourself. You're picking the Tars, but okay. All right.
Either team.
Yeah. But so the Reds could win, and all right. Okay. I like it.
That's what you call a coward.
Sitting on the fence.
Okay, one more. Your best bet for our best bet bundle. We will bundle them all up, put them in a multi. So, and you can choose one of the ones you've already had if you want, Goldie.
Surely, do you want to take the Reds or can I?
You can go for the Reds.
Okay, I'll take the Reds then. 150.
Reds, yeah. Surely.
I'll just go Blues 13 plus. I'm not going to contribute much, but
I'll go halftime, full time.
Oh no.
Drew Brumbies.
Drew to lead at halftime, Brumbies to win.
Yes.
Oh, nice. A little turnaround. Did you take the Blues 13 and over? Oh, gee.
Why don't you go on your Tars, mate?
Yeah.
Big Tars guy. Or why don't you go Kane 13 plus? Be boring.
I'm going to go Max Jorgensen to score a try. There we go. Boom. Done. That's it. Righty-ho. Jeff, what are you up to this weekend? You're following the Super Rugby around the country?
I've actually got a wedding on Saturday, and Sunday I am at Eden Park, which I'm looking forward to. Moana Pacifica and the Blues, so it should be fun.
Oh, congratulations. Shirley?
It's not my wedding. What are you what's that? Someone else's wedding.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Shirley?
Oh, congratulations, Jeff.
I got invited to a wedding. Congratulations.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, you've got friends. Huge.
What's Goldie doing on the cover of Women's Day?
Oh, that's good. Friday night, I will be at the Rival Code, and then Saturday, Northcote preseason week 2 of coaching. We got the win on the weekend against Ardmore Marist. This weekend, we are heading to Hamilton to take on Hamilton Old Boys. So a tough one. Bus trip back, though. So
yay. Exciting
times. Time to teach some of these school leavers what it's like to play some senior footy.
Oh, boy. Prayers.
And we wonder why our numbers are dropping in some way.
Fitty?
It's actually the Z Money World Champs this weekend up in Tamaki Makaurau. So heading up to Auckland on Friday.
Judge?
Yes. And in the celebrity bomb comp.
Bomb comp. Oh, you one of these?
So I'm doing one of the...
I'm surprised.
Jumping in and...
I didn't see it that Track Stars, the celebrity things that they did up there.
They need people with pace. That was not my forte. There's someone like Goldie who would definitely...
Man.
I was thinking
Zoe Hobbs.
Yeah, weapon.
It looked like it was just a troll for her.
So I reckon no one else knew she was going to be in the race because at the moment I knew if I knew she was in, I'm out. Like, there's no winning that. There's no winning that. No. You're only going to look slow.
And how cool is just the hype around athletics at the moment with Sam Ruth, with everything? It's just so cool to see.
Yeah. That's it. I think we've found our trading places for next week. Who would make it in athletics? Yeah, nice.
Oh, I thought you meant Goldie at a wedding. So here we go.
I've got work to do, boys. I'm going to bust it out of here. Come on now.
Thanks everyone for joining.
What are you doing this weekend?
What? Nothing. Recovering.
From your birthday?
It's a rest.
Was your birthday last week?
It's a rest weekend this weekend. Yeah. Thank you. All righty. Thanks for tuning in to the Pick and Go. We'll be back again. Well, some of us will. Not sure who. Remember, Jeff's got a wedding, so he might be away for a couple of weeks on honeymoon.
For the wrong link. Which one?
Make sure you tune back next week to see who is here when we talk more about rugby union.